Hiya folks, Fuzz here, welcome back to Dragon Quest XI. We're going to continue on with our walkthrough slash let's play series today by heading into the frozen regions that are known as the Sniflheim Region. We're actually going to be going through two different areas today, which means we're going to be able to collect a whole bunch of crossbow targets along with numerous other treasures as well. So when you're ready, you're going to want to exit the frozen city by the eastern exit, and the first thing you're going to notice when you come into the Sniflheim region is the weather cow here. This is actually the second to last weather cow if you've collected them all, but I think I've actually missed one because there should be a trophy that it unlocks once you've got all of them, and when we get the next one, which you'll see a few minutes down the road, I don't actually unlock that trophy. So I need to go back, I think, and just figure out which one, and I'm guessing just one, that I've gone ahead and missed, unfortunately. Also folks, a couple of changes, well, one real change for this episode, so we'll see how this works out. And that is I'm actually pre-recording the footage and have recorded the commentary in post. So normally the way I'd record these episodes is I'd play through the game while recording my commentary at the same time. And the reason that I'm not doing that is because it can be a little bit harder to concentrate when I'm searching treasures and stuff. So I'd rather, you know, have a go now at trying to do that and then actually in post going ahead and recording this particular commentary. So you'll still be able to find everything by following the walkthrough, but hopefully it'll just be a little bit easier for me going forward. That said, I might not always do it this way, it depends. The downside to recording commentary in post is that basically I'll double the production time, at least the recording time, since I'm coming back after in order to do the same amount of video time but with audio, if that makes sense. Anyway, here's the next crossbow target, so make sure you grab that one. And go ahead and kill all the enemies around this area as well, so you can start adding them into your list. But I'll go ahead and skip the battles. There's nothing really to write home about with the enemies in this area. And since we've grabbed that first crossbow target, we're going to actually at this point just stay fairly close to the eastern wall. You can see there's a sparkly here which has some perma-snow for us. And once we've grabbed that, we're just going to continue on heading down the path towards the south. And we're going to just go past the entrance here to the next area. If you look on your map there to the east, there is actually an exit there to the zone. We're going to go past that and into this little nook here where there's another sparkly point for us to grab. This one actually has some platinum ore. And there's also a crossbow target around here. So once you've grabbed that platinum ore, just turn your character around and you should be able to see that up on the cliff face there. And from this point on, we're just going to continue on heading down south. And the next point of interest, which you're going to want to get, is this tree here. You can see it's one of the trees that's actually a gathering point, so we can give that a good wallop and grab some more of the good old perma-snow. And some other bits as well from that tree, so it is worth doing. Since we're heading south, we're going to continue on with that and head south again. This time, we're going to be going up a small hill. You can see it just on the map, there's a kind of line. And if we just head around the right hand side of that, we'll actually find a chest containing a seed of sorcery. Okay, so we're doing really well with the treasures here, but before we leave that chest, make sure you grab the next crossbow target there. So it's interesting actually, this region is actually two regions. There's actually going to be two sets of crossbow targets to grab. So this is the first part of that region, which is what we're doing now. Then when we cross zones, we'll actually head into the second one at that point also. Okay, so once we've grabbed that, there should be a flower point, I believe. Gathering point. Yeah, there it is. So make sure you nab that for some silk blossoms and glimmergrass. And then if we look again over here, there should be another crossbow target. So just make sure you get those as we continue exploring the zones. Probably not wanting to miss them, I'd imagine. And don't forget, guys, that it's a trophy, along with some nice rewards tied to collecting all of the crossbow targets. So I do recommend that you do so. And to be honest, there's actually nothing else to do in this area for the time being. So whenever you're ready, we're going to head down south once more. This time making our way into the next area, the Sniflheim area, I believe it's called. So I'll just skip ahead here as we cross the zone line and see what lies ahead. Couple of things to note in this part of the zone then. There's another 5 crossbow targets as I've mentioned, so we'll make sure we hunt those down. And the other thing as well is this area can be a little bit confusing because it does take place over multiple levels. in the sense that there's kind of cliffs and stuff you can climb up, and archways and whatnot, which means collecting everything can be a pain. Anyway, you can kill one of these sparkly enemies here, so you can ride it as a mount, and if you come up the hill bit here, you can grab that sparkly, which contains a mirror stone, so that's going to be the first port of call. And it did take me a little bit of practice to try and find the most efficient route through this place, as I say, because of the various different levels and stuff. So, yes, you'll notice there's a campsite here, which you're welcome to attend to, if you want. But I'm going to leave that for the time being. We'll come back to that a little bit later on. Instead, just above the, or next to the campsite, you can actually use this mount that you've collected and its charge ability to smash through that ice that's blocking the way there. So just use the R2 button to do that while riding the Face Invader, this enemy is called. And you can do that throughout various parts of this level where there are, you know, multiple ice boulders or whatever in the way. So we're going to cross the top of this ice archway thingy. And we'll go ahead and grab the ore from the gathering point. And you might have noticed as we run across the bridge there that there was also the crossbow target. So make sure you don't forget that before leaving this part of the area. There it is. So that's the first of our 5 crossbow targets in this zone. You might as well just drop down at that point. And then we will go ahead and go to the campsite. But before we do that, we can also speak to the weather cow. Now, I mentioned there's only the previous weather cow and this one remaining. So if you did guess all the other weather cows in the game, you'll actually get a trophy for speaking to this final one here. But as I say, it seems I missed one of the previous ones. Not sure how that happened, but it does mean that I don't get the trophy yet until I go back and hunt down whichever one that was. So I did just rest up there, hadn't done a few battles and saved my game. And I did actually rest till morning, believe it or not. The reason it's looking a little bit darker, I think, is just a change in weather there. So once we've gone ahead and saved there, I'm just going to look at the map. You can see that there's a nice big open field just over towards the east. And there's no sparkly spots, but it is still important that we go over there. There's Crossbow Target, for starters. And I believe that's it, actually. But still, we'll need to go ahead and get that. So just head all the way down as if you was going towards the exit of the zone there. But don't actually go towards the exit. And I'm just going to kill this guy since I'll probably need to add it to the list of monsters. Okay, all done. Yeah, so just continue heading south. But try and stay close to the wall because the crossbow target's just a little bit further down here. In fact, it's in between this ice pillar and the next ice pillar. Probably just saw it then. So there we have that. And yeah, nothing else to do in this open field for now. We can head back. Or you can just go ahead, as I'm going to do here, be really lazy and use the zoom spell to go back like 50 metres or whatever. But hey, gets us back to camp. So that's what it's all about. We're going to continue on now, just heading back up towards the north area of this zone. Don't forget the weather cow if you didn't get it for whatever reason a moment ago, because we're going past it now. And we're going to head towards the next archway. In fact, we're going to head under that archway, since you can probably see on the map there, just above it, you can turn to the east and head up a little hill. Not here, I'm just showing you where not to go. Okay, that'll just bring you back into the area we've just been in. But just here, look. So you can go under the archway, as I mentioned, it can be a little bit confusing this area. But if you want to get all the treasures, then you need to come this way. And we're going to cross this kind of cliff thingy, just to grab the sparkly point there. And I'll tell you, this took me a little bit of practice to make sure I got all of these items correctly. So hopefully you guys won't have to worry about that if you're following the video. But after grabbing that mirror stone, we're going to head north. Although I do want to add this guy as well to my monster repertoire. Don't forget, guys, if you want to see what monsters you might be missing from your repertoire of monster bestiary, then you can just access that from the main menu. And then just go to info and then monster list, I think it's called. So across this next chasm on the other side, we'll find our next treasure chest. This one containing a mini medal. And we want to start heading north now, but fairly close to the cliff edge, because there is actually a crossbow target which we can only access. It's on the other side, but we can only access from this side. If you fall down, like I've just done here, then you'll need to climb back up again because you can't reach it. I'm not sure why. I did try, but I couldn't get it. So back up, and if you just look over the edge there, you can see the crossbow target. But to actually reach it, you need to come over to this exact section here, and then you'll get the little red arrow indicating that you can go ahead and smack that one there. And we're going to continue then staying up above here as we head over to the east. You can see the next archway is painted for us on the map. So we'll go ahead over to that direction. And you can see as well there's a building, quite a large substantial building over here as well. So we're not heading inside there, but we are just going to be using it for reference at this point. Okay, so we're going to head to the back of the building. And somewhere around here there was an item, I'm sure of it. Let's just wait a sec. Pretty sure I'll come across an item. Must be on the other side. Yeah, there it is. It's actually a crossbow target, not an item. I knew there was something around here. But there we go. Make sure you grab that, guys. Okay, and now we're just going to continue on heading east at this point. Towards the, I guess one of the corners of the map there. And you'll pick up some antifreeze earrings from the treasure box. And here we can just literally drop down. So you might have noticed there's a sparkly on the map if you've checked that at any point. And that will lead you to this here. Another gathering point. Okay, some silk blossom, glimmer grass, usual stuff for this area. And before you go ahead and leave, make sure you grab the next crossbow target. In fact, that's the final crossbow target for this area. So before we finish up, we'll have to head back to camp and just speak to the dude that does the crossbow targets here. Right, make sure you mount up on the shiny enemy there, so you can smash through that particular ice barrier. To show you where I am. It's optional, but there's a couple of items that you can go ahead and grab in this area, including this tree we can smash. That'll net us some Ava branches, and yep, you've guessed it, some more lovely perma-snow. Got a lot of that stuff now, haven't we? Okay, so still in the same area there. We're going to head over to the other side this time. And there should be another sparkly point. In fact, there is, I know for a fact, because I've already collected it. So right at the edge, just make sure you get it carefully, otherwise you could easily fall off the edge and have to climb back up once more. Right then, so next up, and we're nearly done now, we're going to head over towards the cabin. But before we use the cabin for resting or anything like that, we're just going to head around the side of it. There's like, yeah, this side there's a treasure chest. And that one's got a recipe book in it, which is the super cool kit recipe book. Okay. And we're pretty much done now. So, no more items to grab. The next area is going to be the Hex Woods, which we're going to leave for the next episode. But before we go ahead and rest, I'm just going to recommend zooming back to the campsite in this area. And that way we can just collect our reward for completing the crossbow targets. And don't worry, I know it's like been a bit of a trek from the campsite to this cabin. But once we've gone ahead and saved and rested or whatever it is we want to do, we can literally mount up at the bell here and it will take us back to the cabin in just a few seconds, to be honest with you, if you avoid the enemies anyway. Right, so once we've gone ahead and spoken to the Bodkin Boa, we'll collect 4 pretty Betsy's as our reward. And there's the mount that I told you about. So, didn't do a good job at avoiding enemies. But there we are, back at the cabin now. Alright then guys, well I'm going to rest up, and I think I'll leave it there for today. We'll continue on with the next area in the next episode. So thanks for joining me, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and do come back soon for more Dragon Quest XI. Take care everyone, have a great day, I'll see you next time, goodbye.